Dragon Age Inquisition was rated M for mature by the ESRB and contains blood, intense violence, nudity, sexual content, and strong language. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everyone, my name is Amaronith and I play games for the internet, and today we're playing Dragon Age Inquisition. Last time we finished up our business in the hinterlands, at least for now. Came back to Haven and learned more about Cassandra. Also tried to flirt with her a little, because, you know, you gotta shoot your shot. It went ish. But for now, hi Varric.
Need something?
Do I have questions about Hog?
I've read your Tale of the Champion, and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction. Go ahead.
Never mind.
Carry on.
Red Lyrium?
I want to know more about Red Lyrium.
I'll tell you what I can.
Nope.
I think that's enough on Red Lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject.
And personal questions. I have personal questions.
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
So, where are you from?
You from Ferelden? Orlais?
Free marches. Born and raised in Kirkwall. And despite whatever you've heard, no. Kirkwall's not that bad.
What do you do?
I'm not clear on your line of work. You're a merchant?
I'm a businessman. My family has a seat in the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Merchants buy and sell goods. Businessmen buy and sell stores. In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
Oh, could you do Liliana's job?
If you've run a spy network, why is Liliana our spy master?
To be honest with you, she's just a better spy master. The truly great ones can keep their distance. They don't get attached to their people. Me, I always wind up babysitting my informants and worrying about their families. We're in better hands with her.
Okay. What shops do you own? There is a lot of yelling. I'm trying to have a conversation here. What shops do you own?
What sort of shops do you own?
Actually, we don't own shops. That was just an example. Mostly we invest in money lenders. Auction houses, a few mercenary companies, a couple of smithies. I think we own half a beet plantation in Revas somewhere. Most of that's my brother's doing. Bartrand had business sense. Not much tact, but loads of business sense.
What books do you write?
You're an author? What kind of books have you written?
I've tried my hands at a few genres. My crime serials are my most popular. Hard in Hightown, guards breaking the rules to get things done. The Tale of the Champion is the most famous thing I've written, or infamous maybe. I started a romance serial once, Swords and Shields, but to be honest, I don't have a knack for romances. Most of my stories end in tragedy. Probably that says something unfortunate about me personally.
How do you know Cassandra?
How do you and Cassandra know each other?
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed? The guy responsible used to be a friend of mine. The Seeker had questions about that, and I had answers.
Tell me about the crossbow.
Where did you get that crossbow? I've never seen one like it.
Bianca? She's one of a kind. Funny story. I bought a salvaged ship and found her locked in a dragon bone reinforced chest in the hold. I broke 3 dozen lockpicks and blunted 9 saws opening that trunk, but it was worth it.
Why Bianca?
Who is she named for?
I can't tell you.
Why not?
And the reason for that is?
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have to leave it at that.
That's all for now.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
And now, technically, we never have to speak with him again. For a bit.
If you say so.
Hey, Solus. No, hey, Solus.
Closing the breach is our primary goal. But I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
You think it survived?
You don't think whatever created the explosion was destroyed in the blast?
You survived, did you not? The artifact that created the breach is unlike anything seen in this age. I will not believe it destroyed until I see the shattered fragments with my own eyes.
I agree.
We would do well to try to recover whatever created the breach.
Liliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
Tell me about yourself.
I'd like to know more about you, Solus.
Why?
I respect you.
You're an apostate, yet you risked your freedom to help the Inquisition.
Not the wisest course of action when framed that way.
I appreciate the work you're doing, Solus. I just wanted to know more about you.
I'm sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
Well, I study the Fade.
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
Sounds dangerous.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits, and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
Clearly, you woke up.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
Is that why you're here?
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If our enemies destroy the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
I hope that works.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You train to flick a dagger or an arrow to its target. The grace with which you move is a pleasing side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
Where have you studied?
You said you'd traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers, the best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Which battlefields?
Any place in particular?
I dreamt Dostigar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire, and Logain's infamous betrayal of Caelan's forces.
Tell me what happened.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire, and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Caelan fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed, and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real.
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Do you work with anyone?
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
Wisdom and purpose?
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
Those are demon names.
You're saying that you became friends with pride and desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
That's amazing.
I'm impressed that you could become friends with spirits.
Anyone who can dream has the potential. Few ever try. My friends comforted me in grief and shared my joy. Yet, because they exist without form, as we understand it, the Chantry declares that spirits are not truly people. Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
Yes, spirits are people.
I hadn't thought about it that way, but I see your point.
Thank you. Few are willing to entertain such a notion.
Bye.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
I'll catch up with him later. Potions. Oof. No Black Lotus yet. Nope. Ooh. Nope.
Thank you for hurrying with the potions.
We'll get them back on their feet, sister. Don't you worry.
Listen, I'm not saying that the Chantry doesn't do good work. There's more to life than seeing the people. You used to feel that way too.
How I feel has nothing to do with what must be done right now.
Whoa. Okay. Can we... Is there like a back entrance to the Chantry? Yeah.
Thanks for checking, Taylor.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, Liliana.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Blessed are the righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us? Blood? To die so that your will is done? Is death your only blessing?
You speak for Andraste, no? What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
Game?
How is this a game?
Do you see the sky? What about the temple ruins? The bones lying in the dust? Even if you didn't support the Divine's peace, you wouldn't call this right. Who could? So many innocent lives. The faithful murdered where the holiest of holies once stood. If the Maker willed this, what is it if not a game or a cruel joke?
I'm as confused as you.
Don't ask me. I'm as baffled as you are.
You probably don't even worship the Maker. Lucky. He asks a lot. The Chantry teaches that the Maker abandoned us. He demands repentance for our sins. He demands it all. Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
My sympathies.
I'm sorry. Her death has clearly hit you hard.
Not just me. All of us. She was the Divine. She led the faithful. She was the heart. If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me, working with the divine, helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
Let me help you.
Maybe you have another purpose. I could help you find it.
No, this is my burden. I regret that I even let you see me like this. It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again. Come, to work then. We will speak later.
But... Liliana... Huh?
I hope my hunch was wrong.
You knew him well?
Not as well as I thought. Show me the report. There were so many questions surrounding Faria's death. Did he think we wouldn't notice? He's killed Faria, one of my best agents, and knows where the others are. You know what must be done. Make it clean. Painless if you can. We were friends once.
Wait a minute. Do you have to kill him?
Wait, what are you doing?
He betrayed us. He murdered my agent.
And you'd kill him, just like that.
You find fault with my decision?
Killing him is a waste.
If he has knowledge, then he's a resource. Use him.
He's a loose end who could escape and get word to our enemies. Butler's betrayal put our agents in danger. I condemned one man to save dozens. I may not like what I do, but it must be done. I cannot afford the luxury of ideals at a time like this.
Ideals are crucial.
Now is precisely the time for ideals.
You feel very strongly about this. Very well. I will think of another way to deal with this man. Apprehend Butler, but see that he lives. Now if you're happy, I have more work to do.
Infinitely happy.
Your kind killed the most holy. Lies. Your kind let her die. Shut your mouth, mate!
Enough!
Knight Captain.
That is not my title. We are not Templars any longer. We are all part of the Inquisition.
And what does that mean exactly?
Oh my god.
Already, Chance. Haven't you done enough?
I'm curious, Commander, as to how your Inquisition and its herald will restore order as you've promised.
Back to your duties, all of you.
Fuck, Weasel. Hey, Cullen.
Mages and Templars were already at war. Now they're blaming each other for the Divine's death.
Which is why we require a proper authority to guide them back to order.
Who? You? Random clerics who weren't important enough to be at the Conclave.
Ooh.
The Rebel Inquisition and its so-called Herald of Andraste? I think not.
We're not so we're terrible.
I don't know. The Inquisition seems about as functional as any young family.
How many families are on the verge of splitting into open warfare with themselves?
I mean...
Yes, because that would never happen to the Chantry.
Centuries of tradition will guide us. We are not the upstart, eager to turn over every apple cart.
Why is he here?
Remind me why you're allowing the Chancellor to stay?
Clearly, your Templar knows where to draw the line.
He's toothless. There's no point turning him into a martyr simply because he runs at the mouth. The Chancellor's a good indicator of what to expect in Val Royeaux, however.
Is the Mage Templar War large?
How widespread is the violence between mages and Templars?
Impossible to say.
Your organization flouting the Chantry's authority will not help matters.
With the Conclave destroyed, I imagine the war between mages and Templars is renewed with interest.
Okay, but who killed the Divine?
The mages and Templars are fighting, even though we don't know what really happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes.
Exactly why all this should be left to a new divine. If you are innocent, the Chantry will establish it as so.
Or we'll be happy to use someone as a scapegoat.
You think nobody cares about the truth?
Not the Chantry.
We all grieve Justinia's loss.
But you won't grieve if the Herald of Andraste is conveniently swept under a carpet.
One minute. It started raining again. It's been very rainy this summer, which is when I'm recording this, which is funny because this isn't going up until November? Early November? I think that's my timeline. Anyway, good luck keeping order.
Don't let anyone riot while we're gone.
The walls will be standing when you return, I hope.
Okay.
Let all repeat the chant of light. Only the
Surgeon
word
Renee wishes to
dispels
verify that the
darkness upon us.
infections have decreased in number. Yes. Thank you for your help. Tell me, are you happy this
I'm not listening to this.
I know
Wait,
more
no.
than dragons.
I knew
I
that
see.
and crossed my heart with shame.
Hey. Oh. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Anything else in here? No? Just that? Okay. Actually, before I go,
Master Lavenin, do you have a moment?
for you, always.
We can use that.
Thank you, Manev. Hello, Josephine.
Did you need something, Ambassador?
Yes. Well, not precisely, but I should like to know if anyone here has treated you unkindly yet for being an elf.
Nothing I can't handle.
I can deal with a few whispers and sideways looks.
I shall speak with the staff regarding such conduct. If we're to convince the world that Andraste's herald is an elf, the Inquisition must give you its utmost support. Stories of wild, Dalish elves have grown even more outrageous as people learn more.
Give me an example.
How have the rumors gotten worse?
I would prefer not to repeat them.
Give me something.
Stealing children, selling peasants to slavers, burning down villages, using infants for blood magic. Those are the stories about your fellow Dalish. I won't repeat what they've said about you.
Those stories are nonsense.
When I claim the Dalish can steal your breath or turn into dragons while they're at it. Now that I've said that out loud, someone probably has.
Very likely. I will see what the Inquisition can do to contain the slander. It may help if I know more about how you and your clan live.
Like... Oh, Revas. Faria was more, I want to say, protective of her Dalish heritage, but she and her clan spent a lot of time in Ferelden. I mean, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but through hard work.
Getting up before dawn to fish, constantly mending wagons and tents, spending days on the hunt. I still can't believe city dwellers have food delivered straight to their doorsteps.
Really? I never considered it extraordinary. Haven is so far away from home. You must miss the people of your clan.
Now, I could also flirt with Josie. Yeah. No. maybe... That's a little much for right now. Very much so.
All my friends are there. Before I came to the Conclave, the clan was my whole world. I'd like to see them after everything is done.
I hope you get the chance. Whether you're with them or not, being the clan of the Herald of Andraste will mark them in history.
I worry about that.
Elves and Fae tend to go poorly together. I hope my clan doesn't suffer for it.
We can make inquiries as to how they fare if it worries you. Perhaps the Inquisition could lend a hand.
Ooh. We need this. And we already only have the one. But underworld knowledge is good, but connections is good. All of these are good. I'm gonna grab this. Investigate Serault. My agents have infiltrated Serault. If there's anything to hear, they will hear of it. Leliana. You got 53 gold. Okay. Address a nobleman's concerns. Commander Cullen, am I to understand that you are in charge of the soldiers, trampling on my lawns, providing food and refuge to the scrabble of filth burrowing into my land? A plague on you, sir, for spitting in the face of an honest petitioner, for taking advantage of my distress. Did my wretched neighbor, Bantraft, whisper in your ear? Tell me what he paid you so that I may at least know the price of treachery, sir. My only consolation is that a few of the rank and file have gone on to join your farce of an Inquisition in bitterest disgust, Lord Kildon. Okay. And gather coin. Our efforts bore fruit. A portion of the profits will be passed to you. Use it wisely, Herald, and 114 dollary dues. That's 4. That's 4. This is 8. That's 4. Eight, 12, 16. Okay. Let's grab this. Scout the Storm Coast. I didn't even read it. I'm sorry, you guys. Sister Liliana, Lieutenant Scout Harding led a small complement of soldiers to the Storm Coast region to investigate reports of Grey Warden activity. She sent word that her party had established a camp near the shore, but we have received nothing further. At this time, the status of Harding and her mission remains unknown. Rector. We're not going there now. Rescue soldiers missing in Ferelden. Inquisition soldiers have gone missing in the marshy reaches of southern Ferelden. Because the region is largely uncharted, finding them will be difficult, but the Inquisition's advisors are determined to find out what happened and, if possible, bring their people back alive. We can do it through connections. If I contact the local band, she can send out search parties for the missing soldiers right away. Secrets, send my people. A few scouts will move more quickly than a larger group could. Or forces, other soldiers are volunteering to search for their lost comrades. They won't rest until they've found them. Let's use forces. Rescue missing soldiers missing in Ferelden. The missing soldiers have been found in a bog called the Fellowmire. They are being held hostage by Avar, who demand to meet the Herald of Andraste if the Inquisition wants to see its people alive again. Not going there yet. But now, we're going to leave this be for now. Address the Chantry in Val Royeaux. The remaining Chantry's clerics have declared the Inquisition heretical. Attempts to gather allies against the breach have been rebuffed, and at this moment we could not step foot into the capital without being attacked by a mob or arrested. We must convince the Chantry to permit us entry into the city so we can show them the Herald of Andraste is not the monster they believed. Believe. Recommended levels 4 to 7. I believe right now we're at 5.
Having the Herald address the clerics is not a terrible idea.
You can't be serious.
Mother Giselle isn't wrong. At the moment, the Chantry's only strength is that they are united in opinion. And we should ignore the danger to the Herald. Let's ask him.
This may not actually help.
I'm more concerned this won't actually solve any problems.
I agree. It just lends credence to the idea that we should care what the Chantry says.
I will go with him. Mother Giselle said she could provide us names. Use them.
But why? This is nothing but a...
What choice do we have, Liliana? Right now we can't approach anyone for help with the breach. Use what influence we have to call the clerics together. Once they are ready, we will see this through.
And confirm.
The city still mourns.
Just a guess, Seeker, but I think they all know who we are.
Your skills of observation never fail to impress me, Varric.
My Lord Herald.
You're one of Leliana's people. What have you found?
The Chantry mothers await you, but so do a great many Templars.
There are Templars here?
People seem to think the Templars will protect them from the Inquisition. They're gathering on the other side of the market. I think that's where the Templars intend to meet you.
Only one thing to do, then. They wish to protect the people? From us?
Protect them from me.
Protect them from the blasphemous Herald of Andraste, I'd say.
Surely they cannot think such a thing.
Why not? They wouldn't be the only ones.
You think the Order's return to the fold, maybe? To deal with us upstarts?
I know Lord Seeker Lucius. I can't imagine him coming to the Chantry's defense. Not after all that's occurred.
Sounds like trouble.
So the potential for trouble has increased twofold.
Perhaps. Return to Haven. Someone will need to inform them if we are delayed.
As you say, my lady.
So, I'm looking at my boy and I can't help but think I should have checked. I'm actually going to check. No. Armor schematics. No. Oh, yeah, no. I do not even have it. There's a leg armor you can add to this kind of armor that basically gives them thigh-high boots. And oh, what a gift that would have been, walking into Val Royeaux to deal with the Chantry Clerics in thigh-high boots. Anyway, the avenue of her reflective thought, inscribed upon a plaque, Our Lady and the actors of her rise and fall, her message and visage are worth repeating. Mafrath's remorse, beneath scratched by a vandal, at meeting a low door frame. Ah. And there it is again. Mafrath's blood guilt, beneath scratched by a vandal, and his head suddenly weighs too much. Mafrath's regret, beneath scratched by a vandal, about his unfortunate hair. Mafrath's penitence, beneath scratched by a vandal, and an unrelated headache. The avenue of her reflective thought. The avenue is inspirational, but wise travelers do not linger in their respects just because the bazaar waits, but because the area before the back-turned statues is treacherous. Local legend has it that the child empress Amy abused the opportunity of religious repose to relieve herself beneath the gaze of Our Lady. Unable to discipline the toddling leader, her attendants instead chastised the statues and had them turned in supposed embarrassment. True or not, foolish youths dare each other to soil the spot in a similar fashion, and a place of otherwise reverent thought always carries a faint odor about it. Excerpted and torn from a disposable walking tour of the capital by Philium, a bard. The Emporium of Mortal Means. A plaque reads, "For all matters defensive concern, offensive intent, and study of arts martial and, with sanction, magical."
Not open today. Not until this fast is over, at least. Too many swords out.
Knot of heroes united in hatred. Not reading all this. Le Masque du Lion. Docks. Exit. The first Lions of Orlais. In respect to the Emperor Alphonse Valmont, the Lions of Orlais, a repeating element dedicated to the great defenders otherwise noted. It is rumored that one is gold, one is bronze and weighted with poison, one is chocolate, and one is watching. As the saying goes, dare we all a thief to test his back and learn which is which is most dangerous to try, deny, or lay. In truth, all are lead and leaf. Don't pretend to ride them too long, lest the mind give way. Excerpted and torn from a disposable walking tour of the capital by Philium, a bard. Grace of the Empire East. A plaque reads, "Welcome all before the grace of the Empire, stage and audience for the use of all, for theatre and business, for partnership and proposal, be seen." A notice below reads, This display is reserved for songs traditional by Lord Bramford and his players. Cancelled. Fourth Lion of Orlais. In respect to Duke Stephen of Valmont Montagne? I don't actually know French. I studied it for a little while, but never beyond beginner level.
I know what you are.
I am an elf. I'm sorry, are you supposed to be, like, threatening, I guess? I don't know. Pierre-Marie.
You'll forgive if events are a little too flustered for commerce. Nothing personal, Inquisition.
I suppose. Right. Grace of the Empire, North. A notice reads, "This display is reserved for discourse, political, with attending professors of social matters from the University of Orlais. Note that all vendors of loftable groceries will be closed in the hour beforehand and for 1/2 hour. 1/2 after. Vendors of loftable groceries." So you can't throw tomatoes. There it goes. The Second Lion of Orlais. In respect to Duke Isidore de Orleans. Docs.
This city is close to you, except for the Chantry and our Templars. They'll certainly take you.
La pomme vie et morte. The apples nearest the cafe are said to change their taste depending on whether one is walking toward or away from the gallows. And of course they do, for taste is subject to the whims of the heart, and no meal is favoured after tears. But dare it anyway, for none know the taste of joy such as we who do not shy from experience. From our Orlesian heart by formerly Sister Laudine. Grace of the Empire West. A notice reads, "This display reserved for the presentations of affection as though private, and also discounted spirits presented by Company Misdirect Theatre." Am I trying to get as many as I can before cutscene? Yes. Grace of the Empire South. A notice reads, "Reserved for his strangeness, their sound, and his static puppets behind glass." She of the highwaymen repents. "Gallows master, hold thy hand, hold it back a while. Callous juror, let me stand, let me bear a smile. For comes my brother distant, for comes my saviour soon. I stand here most insistent, I will receive my boon. Fellow soldier, hold thy voice, hold it if you may. Fallow shoulders, show my choice, I am in your sway. For know my crime was cruel, and all my pain deserved. I stand here as a fool, despite my brother served. Mother dearest, look away, look into the sun. Others nearest gone astray, you will be undone. For no more will I prattle, and no more will I pray. Hear you must the rattle, as life will fly away. From songs of old Orlais, she of the highwaymen repents. Inscriptions collected by formerly Sister Laudine. Veer.
The Templars will stand for us and help Val Royeaux return to mourning.
Okay. Emperor Florian. Meh.
May as well keep walking. I don't deal with heretics.
That's nice. Oh, I want to talk to her.
Good people of Val Royeaux, hear me. Together, we mourn our divine. A naive and beautiful heart.
Excuse me?
By treachery. You wonder what will become of a murderer. Well, wonder no more. Behold, the so-called Herald of Andraste, claiming to rise where our beloved fell. We say this is a false prophet. The Maker would send no elf in our hour of need.
Wow, your racism is on full display. Let us talk peacefully, or we have a real enemy. I mean, we have a real enemy.
You say I am the enemy. The breach in the sky is our true enemy. We must unite to stop it.
It's true. The Inquisition seeks only to end this madness before it is too late.
It is already too late.
Oh.
The Templars have returned to the Chantry. They will face this Inquisition, and the people will be safe once more.
Still yourself. She is beneath us.
Well, now that you punched her there. I'm sorry, am I supposed to be impressed?
Was that display supposed to impress me? On the contrary, it wasn't for you at all.
Lord Seeker Lucius, it's imperative that we speak with...
You will not address me.
Lord Seeker?
Creating a heretical movement. Raising up a puppet as Andraste's prophet. You should be ashamed. You should all be ashamed. The Templars failed no one when they left the Chantry to purge the mages. You are the ones who have failed. You who'd leash our righteous swords with doubt and fear. If you came to appeal to the Chantry, you are too late. The only destiny here that demands respect is mine.
Okay, sure. Help us close the breach.
What we truly need is an alliance that will seal the breach.
Oh, the breach is indeed a threat. But you certainly have no power to do anything about it.
But Lord Seeker, what if he really was sent by the Maker? What if...
You are called to a higher purpose. Do not question.
I will make the Templar Order a power that stands alone against the Void. We deserve recognition. Independence. You have shown me nothing, and the Inquisition less than nothing. Templars, Val Royeaux is unworthy of our protection.
Oh, shit.
We march.
Charming fellow, isn't he?
Has Lord Seeker Lucius gone mad?
How well do you know him?
Do you know him very well?
He took over the Seekers of Truth 2 years ago, after Lord Seeker Lambert's death. He was always a decent man, never given to ambition and grandstanding. This is very bizarre.
So much for Templar help.
Doesn't look like we'll be getting the Templars to help us after all.
I wouldn't write them off so quickly. There must be those in the Order who see what he's become. Either way, we should first return to Haven and inform the others.
It's a really fascinating mirror. The argument between the Templars and the mages. We want respect and independence from the Chantry. Of course, what the Templars want respect and independence to do is murder mages, and what the mages want respect and independence to do is not be murdered. Anyway. Hi, I wanted to talk to you before.
Excuse me, but is what they're saying real? The Inquisition's going to fix the hole in the sky?
That's the plan.
I'm going to give it a try, at least.
No one is doing anything. The Chantry is useless, and the Templars... Andraste. I never thought they'd abandon us. Listen, your camp will need food. I have contacts. We'll have deliveries there in days.
You want to help the Inquisition?
Never been part of something this big before, but if your Inquisition's going to seal the sky, I want to help.
Cassandra?
What do you think, Cassandra?
I think the woman is asking you and not me.
Well, he is.
The Herald of Andraste. Yes, I understand. Haven is a mess, but we won't turn away anyone willing to help. Invite her, if it pleases you.
Alright, go to Haven.
Head to Haven, then. We need good people.
I don't know if I'm that, but it will be nice to see. Thank you.
Okay.
Our Templars left. The Chantry promised they'd defend us.
You sound very not Orlesian. One more thing. Third line of Orlais in respect to Duke Yvon of Savrenay. Again, I apologize for my very terrible French and fake fantasy French accent. So, hey, revered Mother Havara, what good?
This victory must please you greatly, Seeker Cassandra.
We came here seeking only to speak with the mothers. This is not our doing, but yours.
And you had no part in forcing our hand?
I mean, no.
Do not delude yourself. Now we have been shown up by our own Templars, in front of everyone. And my fellow clerics have scattered to the wind along with their convictions. Just tell me one thing. Do you truly believe you are the Maker's chosen?
Why do you care?
Haven't you already made up your mind? Why ask me now?
Because, despite all my fears, what if it's true? What if I have erred? I suppose it is out of our hands now. We shall all see what the Maker plans in the days to come.
How are people reacting?
How are people responding to all of this?
Despair, fear. We mourn Her Holiness. The people look to the sky and wonder how long before terror comes for us all. There must be a way through this. Is it you? The Templars? The Maker's Will? We abandoned our duties. We servants of the faith. Now we can only pray.
Well, at least you admit it. How many Templars rebelled?
How many Templars turned on the Chantry exactly?
They rebelled across Thedas. Some remained loyal, but not enough to call them the Order. The White Spire here in the capital was the largest garrison, but now it stands empty. Perhaps more shall flock to the Lord Seeker's banner now. How far has faith waned, I wonder?
Where have the Templars gone?
Where is the Lord Seeker taking the Templars?
Where have all the Templars gone?
He could not have abandoned his intended role more completely.
There must be sense to what we can't see.
Must there? Rebellion seems popular in certain quarters, doesn't it, Seeker? Is crafting the Templars into a new power really any worse than declaring a rival to the Chantry itself?
What did you want him to do?
What were you hoping the Lord Seeker would do exactly?
Put aside his war against the mages and find common purpose against something much more dire. Obviously, he has other plans. With the knights vigilant slain at the Conclave, there is nothing more we can do.
Perhaps there is something we can do.
I'd like to believe that, Seeker. I truly would. I suppose we can expect renewed effort against the mages from him, and yet more chaos.
What will the Chantry do now?
So what happens now? Will the Chantry continue to denounce me?
We have already done so. And what good has it done us? Now it falls on us to select a new divine, if we can. And leave the next step to her.
Provided such a selection is even possible.
I truly don't know. Any revered mother who could have followed Justinia died at the Conclave. What becomes of us, and your Inquisition, is in the Maker's hands now.
What do you believe about me?
You're obviously skeptical. What do you believe I am?
Our divine, Her Holiness is dead. I have seen evidence for everything, except what would comfort me.
That doesn't answer my question.
For you to be true, a great many things must be false. And if you are false, a great many things must have failed. There is chaos ahead, whatever your intentions.
You could still help us.
It's not too late. The Chantry could still help us and come out on top.
If only that were true.
What's to stop you from trying?
We are not looking for a winning horse. We are simply trying to do the right thing.
By being racist. I don't remember what she says if you're a human woman, but when you're a human man, she goes, the Maker would not have sent a man as Andraste is chosen in our time of need, or something like that. For everyone else, it would not have sent an elf, a dwarf, a kunari. So she's just racist. And also misandrist. That's what it is when you hate men. So
Leave me be, survivor. Your presence here is not comforting.
I'm gonna stop this somehow.
There's got to be a way to calm everything down and clean up this mess.
I hope against hope that may be the case.
Anyway. So, with that done, I'm gonna stop it here, and next time we will explore Orlais, or at least Val Royeaux. The capital is very pretty. I'd like to see more of it. But that is for next time. Until then, take care of yourselves, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. What are you guys doing?